Oh boy. All right. This bitch going here. Hello, everyone. Sorry. Okay. Shoo. Hello, Hot Sloth. Can you guys hear me? Do I have sound this time? Is it working this time? Someone give me a thumbs up. Gotta get that walk on. Hell yeah. Whew. Sorry I'm late. I was coming from a meeting and naturally it went above the hour. They never go above the hour. I don't know why it went above the hour this time. They were doing like chips and everything, and oh man. And you just cut the sound off. Again? No fucking way. There's really no sound. Just cut the sound off. Uh-oh, what is going on? You guys can't hear me at all? Someone let me know if you could hear me. Damn it. Okay. You can hear me. Okay. Okay, good. So I have sound. All right. Yeah. I was at a meeting and all right, cool. Okay. Because I was having that problem last time. So yeah, I was at a meeting and usually they end at 8 and I was like, okay, well I have 20 minutes to get home, a couple minutes to set up. You got nothing here. No sound. Log out and log back in. Maybe that's what it is. Unless Joy and Lee are just trolling me. I don't know. But yeah, they're like, now we got to do chips. And I'm like, come on, it's 8:05. No one is saved past the hour. Let's go. We're only alcoholics for that 1 hour a day. Not really, but yeah. So good on my end. Good. Nope. Gotcha. Cool. All right. So here's the cart. Ooh, I dusted her off. And yeah. This baby sat in storage since 2021, and yeah, dusted her off, and I'm gonna take it to the car wash tomorrow, get it all ready to go. We're gonna put my signs on that say "Walking Across the USA," and yeah, the tires don't have air, but I'll work on all that and maybe put the spare tires on. From 2021, these tires are real bald now. So, or maybe I'll just abuse them. But yeah, Taylor used to ride in this. I had it all set up for her. I had like Walmart fans in it and all her toys and everything. And yeah, but Taylor. I'll show you Taylor now. You guys want to meet Taylor? This is Taylor. Okay. She doesn't need the cart anymore, but so she's in a Chinese food tub because she liked Chinese food. It's not because I'm insensitive or anything. Taylor used to like to lick the Chinese food containers clean, and so I thought, what a fitting place to put her. And I dumped most of the ashes, but I'm going to take a little bit with her and just keep her in the cart for, just old time's sake. But yeah, most of hers at the Rec Center Beach in New Jersey. But anyway, we gotta put that safe. But I'm only gonna take a little bit with her because you get stopped by cops constantly on the road. And I don't want any cops thinking she's drugs or anything. I don't want my poor Taylor getting tested for fent, So let's see what some people are saying here. What up, Sam? Hot Sloth, how you doing today? John, how's it going? I am ready. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Things are happening a lot faster than February 19th. Let me put it that way. Hike with Mike. Did you ever read a book, A Walk Across America? I can't remember the author. No, but I've heard about the book several times, and yeah, um, I haven't read any like hiking or walking books in a really long time. Brings back some good but sad memories. Joy, you've been around for a while. Yeah. um, this cart is killing my allergies right now because it's so dusty. But yeah, it's crazy. I was gonna just carry a backpack because, well, that's what we're gonna talk about. Peter Jenkins. I'll have to look into it, see if my library has an audiobook so I could listen to it while I'm walking. But so Hot Sloth, that's what we're talking about. Today we're talking about my walk across the USA. So basically in 2021, I walked from Sandy Hook, New Jersey to Casey, Illinois. Walked about 1,000 miles, got stuck in a heat wave, and I was done. I quit. But this time I was gonna walk from Casey, Illinois to LA, but I'm itching to go. I'm itching to go, and I can't start in Illinois now. I'll freeze to death. So, Perry, we'll talk about that in a minute. So, I'm itching to go. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go head to LA and then walk to Casey, Illinois from LA. So, it's kind of like a weird flip flop, kind of cross country walk, if you want to count it as that. I'm going to start in Venice Beach and walk to Casey, Illinois. And then if I feel good, I'll walk from Casey, Illinois back to New Jersey, I guess. But so basically what happened, and Perry blew my spot up here a little bit. This walk has been something that is just eating me alive. For the past, since I quit, it's just been on my brain all the time, like the AT and the Batona Trail, just on my brain all the time. Cannot get it out. And I was gonna start February 19th. Then like money was tight and everything, so I ended up getting a job at a local restaurant, and I was thinking, God, am I making the right choice here? Like, should I have this job? And all the signs, like life whispers. It's like First Kings 12. So I don't know. It's out of the cave came a whisper. Out of the darkness came a whisper, and life is just always whispering to you, and God is always whispering to you. And I know I have to do this walk. I promised God that I would do this walk on the AT because this walk is not for me. AT was 100% for me, but this walk is a fundraiser for the homeless in Ocean County, New Jersey. I'm doing a fundraiser for Just Believe Inc. That GoFundMe is going to drop on Wednesday. I'm talking to Paul Hulse, the founder and CEO of Just Believe Inc. on Tuesday. We're just going to talk over the phone. I'm going to get some talking points from him and just whatever he wants me to mention. And but I'm not going to get him too involved. It's just a fundraiser. It's not his idea. It's my idea. Just my idea to use his just fundraise for him. Um. Anyway, it's just always been it's just eating away at me. And so I was going to go February 19th, but then money got tight. So then I got this job serving tables at a local restaurant in Shamokin, and it was just killing me. It was just killing me because I feel like I've been given this new life. This new life. I've been given a huge audience, and even though I've lost about 70 subscribers since I started doing my sober videos, whatever. But I've gained about 100 on TikTok, so TikTok's easier anyway. But I have this new life that was given to me on the Appalachian Trail. And then I have my one foot in my old life and one foot in the new life. And I keep trying to go back to what's comfortable. And what's comfortable is my old life, like the food restaurant and smoking pot. And I keep trying to go back to that life when I was given a new life. And I have to stick with that new life. I have to keep pushing forward. Every day you have to like consciously make the choice to keep moving forward and going towards that new life. And I feel like the walk is part of that new life. And it's like I got off the trail. I made all these promises to God, promises to you guys, and then I get off the trail and I totally turned my back on it all. And I'm going back to a restaurant. So I'm at this restaurant for 3 days, and the restaurant was great. Great food, great people, great customers. I knew most of the customers. The money seemed to be okay, but something was wrong. I just felt like my soul was being squeezed, and like there was this weird like thunder in my heart, and I just felt like God was pissed off at me for some reason. Well, because he's given me this new life, and here I am trying to go back to the old life, and things just started going wrong. But little did I know they were going right. Like the transmission on my minivan started going, which I was like, damn, why me? What's going on? And then like just little things like relationship trouble and and I was just being a dickhead because I was just like getting real down on myself, real depressed, feeling like a loser, all the characteristics of my old life, pre-AT life, the life I'm trying to get away from. And yeah, so my soul, it was just eating at me. And I won't blow her spot up is whatever. My girlfriend, or my love here, she tried to be sneaky and donate $500 to this trip, and she changed like the profile icon on Venmo and everything, but the email blew it up, put her profile picture on it, and I texted her this morning. I was like, "Is that you trying to be sneaky?" I was just like, "That's a sign. That's a sign I'm supposed to go." And then if you look in hindsight, the minivan going, now I'm going to junk it. That's going to be another $400. That's a sign to go. And it's just like there's $800 right there, plus my tax return, plus the couple dollars from YouTube. And so I was like, all the signs are there. Everything is leading to go, go, go. And since the AT, I've just been in this like horrible rut where I'm just unhappy all the time. And yeah, I don't know. So basically it's time to go. It's go time. So now that I'm again unemployed, had a job for 3 days. Actually, that's my record. That's the shortest I've ever had it. Maybe I think maybe one time I did a shift at a restaurant and I years ago and I couldn't do it before I was a server, but this is confirmed the shortest job I've ever had. Yeah, 3 days. And I feel so bad. I feel so bad for the manager. She took a chance on me and I just burned her. But, I went in, I gracefully said, "Hey, this is what happened." I had someone donate, and I've had other people kind of help me out who's and just other things. And the money just found itself basically. I was just praying like, "Come on, God, you want this to happen? Make it happen." And it happened, and it happened. And, so it's time to go. So we're not waiting till February 19th anymore. I am heading to LA January 19th, and I'm going to dip my toes in the Pacific Ocean, grab a little bit of sand. Here's another thing too. I don't I don't think it matters anymore, but this is the sand from my first attempt. Um I probably won't take it because I don't know. I'll get new sand now, but yeah, so January 19th, I'm going to start heading out. Hopefully start walking the 20th, and that's it. And that's it. We're going to be walking from Venice Beach, California to at least LA. The pros and cons, um there really is no cons. The pros though, it's BLM land. I'm going to be able to sleep pretty much wherever I want once I'm out of LA. So, I'm going to be taking all my AT gear plus the cart. I'm going to be using John Cena. Not ideal. I do have an Amazon wish list. I'm hoping someone blesses me with shoes and a yellow vest, but if not, I'll figure that out as I go along. And there'll be about a 2-week delay in videos. So by February 1st, I'll be rolling out the first videos of that hike, or that walk, I guess it's called. And we trying to rally up some media attention in the next couple days. And I'm going to be making a presentation that'll be dropping on Friday. That's just going to be basically the presentation I give have do if I stop at a homeless shelter or anyone that wants to hear me ramble. I'm going to put on a little PowerPoint presentation. Um, that's about it. We're going to see what happens. Let me see what's going on in here. Um, so I got to Perry. Hot Sloth had your hip replaced on December 22nd. So I'm only walking to the fridge and the toilet. Well, at least he got a new hip though. $1 million man. Now you could through hike next year. So that's pretty cool. The Bionic Man over here. And have you ever done the Florida Trail? It was cool today on my hike. I came across a young couple hiking the whole Florida Trail. I was gonna do the Florida Trail, but then I don't know. I was gonna start that in December, but it just wasn't calling out to me, and I was still pretty burnt from the AT. So yeah, Florida Trail. I don't know these long distance after the road. To be honest with you, I don't really have any long distance in me. I'm like 37 here. I'd really love to find someone, settle down, pop out some babies, and call it a life here. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, maybe pieces of the Florida Trail someday. But yeah, the long distance ones, I'm over it. I want to do like Hadrian's Wall, which is 84 miles. I want to do just little trails here and there. Easy trails. Yeah, these long ones in the mountains or swamps. I'm good on that. I don't know. Growth can never happen in comfort zones. You're 100% correct. I did have a great quote for that. It's in my notes, so I can't open it. Hmm. Comfort comes from discomfort, or something like that. It was. I don't know. Um, I go to this church in Pennsylvania called LCBC, Life's Changed by Christ, and God, they have some good sermons. If you ever want to look them up on here, it's LCBC in Pennsylvania. It's kind of like a mega church, but he always has a good message, and yeah. Um, Hike with Mike. The best thing for our insides is the outside. The best medicine in the world is the wilderness. 100%. Uh, the wilderness is always called me home. The road's a little different. It's not really wilderness. It's basically being homeless, but just being outdoors. Just being outdoors. You everything makes a lot more sense when you're outdoors, especially on these long trips. And if you read any like religious or holy text in any religion, it all started with 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness. And all of them. It doesn't matter who it is. Praise the Lord, you'll be following along. Thank you. Good Pinder. Excuse me, sir. Do you think someday we could meet and make a cheesy crab dinner together? Definitely. Absolutely. I'm always down for a cheesy crab dinner. My struggle bus life. Hello. Hey. Put the popcorn business in the car and take it on your hike. Then you get to do both. Hell yeah. So actually, I was so desperate to get the money for this. I put some feelers out to sell my kettle corn stand, and it's not something I wanted to do. I put so much work into that business and so much blood, sweat, and tears. Even though right now the price of corn and everything's too high to make it feasible, it's still a lucrative business when everything settles. Like the price of corn will go back down. The price of and still water. But I didn't want to part with the business, but I was desperate for the money to do this trip, and yeah, the money came from other sources. Um, uh, let's see, the restoration shop. John Cena needs to stay at home. What tent do you want? I was actually looking for a pop-up tent on Walmart. I was going to add it to my Amazon wish list, but it was like $80 and I thought, let me not be crazy on there. But I'm looking for a pop-up tent. One of them where I can just pull the string, it goes, and I don't know. I was also looking at bivvies, but I figured John Cena was just easy. I already had it. And it's the BLM land, it's desert, so I could pretty much put it up anywhere until I get to Illinois. That's when it becomes private property again. It's kind of harder to camp. Jinx hikes, late to the party. Can't wait to watch your walk. Hell yeah, Jinx. Thank you. Thank you. Hot Sloth hikes. Yeah, that's 2 titanium hips. October 1st, starting the Bama to Baxter again. Wow. 2 hips. 2 new hips. He really is the $1 million man here. Uh, Hike with Mike. All the great religious leaders went to the wilderness to find wisdom. Right on. They did. All of them. Buddha. Yeah, all of them. All of them. The only one I care about is Jesus, though. But uh, do you want something lighter? Uh, Weight does not matter with this cart. So in 2021, I had Taylor's fat ass in there. She was 85 pounds. Plus, I had my hiking gear, which was about 30 pounds. And then I had spare tires, a repair kit. I had fans. I had food. I had 2 gallons of water. I had Taylor's food, which was about 30 pounds. So I probably had about 200 pounds in this and never broke a sweat pushing the cart itself. Like it never. So weight really doesn't matter in this cart. That's one of the great things. That's why it's going to be a struggle getting this cart to LA. I'm going to go to the post office tomorrow and talk to them about how much it would cost to mail. Because I'm going to, on the first night, stay at a hotel in Venice Beach. And I was going to have it mailed there. So I'm going to talk to the post office. If not, I'll figure out how to get on the plane. The Greyhound bus is cheaper, but it's 60 hours. And I don't know if I could sit upright for 60 hours. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think I'm just going to suck it up and fly. Um, Once I'm walking, I don't need money. The expense from these trips is like the biggest expense is the travel too. Once I'm walking, I need maybe $400 a month to live. But just getting there is going to cost me $500, but I was going to do my pack, but I don't want to worry about weight. I want to carry 4 Anker batteries. I want to carry several gallons of water. I want to carry all the food I need. So I'm going to push the cart, and it's going to be hard getting it there, but I'll figure it out. It's all right. It's okay. And plus, this cart cost me $600. I want to get my money's worth out of it. All that food in the cart. Be careful in bear country. I'll eat a bear. Uh, I'll make the bear choose the bear. All right. Nah. There is. That's actually a really great point you just brought up. I didn't think about bears on that side of the country, to be honest with you. I was worried about res dogs because I have to go through the Navajo Nation, which is going to be a little bit of a hassle because they need someone to walk with you and you need a permit. So that's going to be a little bit of a hassle. And I'm sober and I know they're going to want me to buy them beer and weed. And so that's going to be something I have to get through. But I was worried about res dogs. They want someone to walk with you because of the reservation dogs are really dangerous. And we'll figure that out. I'm not going to carry a gun or anything. I decided maybe I am going to carry some bear mace. Bear canister? Maybe. Maybe. Kind of on a budget. Maybe. Well, you said Amazon wish list. I don't know. I'll think about that later. I have a Dome X1 with a ground sheet you could use. Let me know. I might, if nothing comes up in the next couple days, I might message you. I think I do have you on Facebook, correct? If I don't, just shoot me a message on Facebook, either Sam Green or Wander with Sam, and I'll definitely message you. That would be a quick setup and light. Oh, the restoration shop. Yeah, exactly. The X-Stone 1. The thing is, I don't want to destroy it on you. John Cena's already beat up. In 2021, I just used a $24 Walmart tent. It was just as good. Actually, that tent was really good. I don't know. I might go that route too. I'm not really sure. I gotta kind of look around LA, see what they have. maybe I could pick up some stuff last minute. I'm not opposed to taking public transport around LA, so we'll see. Mm. Hike with Mike. I got circled by a bear in the middle of the night camping deep in the green swamp in Florida. I banged on the fire ring and sang Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song and it left. Now I always carry bear spray. That's terrifying. First it's Florida, but two, a bear in the swamp. But uh in 2021 I carried wasp spray because it sprays 25 feet and it was legal in every state. um, I might invest in some bear spray real quick before I go. The struggle is if I'm not sure how I'm getting there yet. If I fly, it'd probably be better to get stuff like that in LA. If I take the bus, you could take whatever. You could take a shotgun on a Greyhound bus, you know. So I don't know. I used to take the Greyhound bus everywhere because of marijuana, because of safety material. But I don't smoke safety material anymore. So I don't really have to worry about my mode of transportation. Um, Hot Sloth Hikes, negative. I'm not on Facebook. You have my email. Okay, I do have your email actually. Just shoot me an email real quick. It's wanderwithsam0032 at gmail.com. Just so I have a refresher. But I'll look too when I'll look tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna start banging out some stuff. TJ, looking forward to your videos of this adventure. I will definitely be praying for safe travels and a wonderful experience. You're one of my absolute favorite content creators. Thank you very much. Thank you, TJ. I appreciate all of you. Yeah, I've been doing these 24-hour a day readings, and it's something I've wanted to do for years. But the topic of God scares a lot of people away, and that's okay. That's okay. In my daily vlogs, I'm not going to talk about God except for the end, you know, where I always say God is great at the end of every video. I'm not going to pray. I'm not going to preach the gospel. I'm not going to start throwing Psalms at you. But my daily AA videos, yeah, I've had about 70 people unsubscribe in the past couple days. But you know what? God's clearing the path for a new audience, you know, and actually my TikTok is going. The views on TikTok are going crazy. So my AA videos are reaching people. I have people sending me, I get probably about 10 testimonies every day. And whether they're full of shit or not, it's, you know, I'm getting testimonies from people. So my videos are reaching people. And maybe not on YouTube, but they're reaching people on other platforms. And it's all about the one, you know. Jesus didn't care about the 99 sheep. He cared about the one that got away, or you know what I'm trying to say. Like I said, I'm not a preacher. I'm not going to be a preacher. So thank you, Hot Sloth. Hike with Mike. The bear spray is good for the two-legged folks too. Absolutely. Actually, the two-legged, people ask me all the time, weren't you afraid in the wilderness? Weren't you afraid of bears and rhinos and shit? No, no, I was afraid of the two-leg creatures. If I heard a bear or a porcupine or a coyote walk through camp, I was up obviously, but I wasn't scared. It's when you hear those two footsteps that my hair stood up and I was terrified. It's you know, it's yeah, the two-leg folk that are scary. And oh, but let's see. Bear spray is multi-per, and you can season your food with the bear spray too. So, yeah. So, hot sloth hikes, bear spray for the two legs. Yep. Let me tell you, the whole AT. I had a couple bear encounters. I had the one where the bear was about 4 feet from me, and I hate that I didn't get it on camera. I was too afraid. That was 9 miles from the Delaware Gap on the PA side. I had a bear. I was eating in my tent, which I do. I sleep with my food, no secret. I don't lie to you guys, so I'm not gonna be like, I hang my food every night. No, I sleep with my food. Whatever. I use my food as a pillow. But I was eating in my tent, and the bear was like 5 feet from me, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And it ran away. But that didn't scare me as much as the guy saying he was God. The situation, I would say, is Doolittle. The guy claiming he was God, that put the fear of God into me. The porcupines too actually scared me because they were doing some kind of weird thing circling my tent. But no, the only time I really truly got scared on the AT was from a two-legged creature named Doolittle. Jason Burris. I'll say his name out loud, and I don't want to give him any views. That's why I don't say his name. But the police said they couldn't do anything about him, so whatever. Social justice, you know. Um, but he had me looking over my shoulder for a couple weeks, and I said to truck driver, I said, "Aren't you worried about him?" He goes, "You're behind me, buddy." So thanks, truck driver. um, let's see. Bear spray for the two leg. Dylan, what up, Dylan? You've been enjoying my AA videos. I'm currently struggling with alcoholism, weaning myself off slowly because I'm scared of seizures. I want to give myself fully to Christ. Dylan, my first advice to you is see your doctor. Your doctor can give you Librium, Valium. They could help you get off that way. They can give you a couple day taper of Librium, and that'll make sure you do not have a seizure. Also, you can go to detox. I know Pennsylvania has a lot of state-run detoxes and everything, and that's the safest way to go. But really, the cure to alcoholism is people, places, and things. Get yourself away from the people, places, and things, and surround yourself with good people, places, and things. Get to AA meetings. You could use the 1-800 number and they'll hook you up with someone who will help you get to AA meetings. God, I wish I was closer to your area. I'm just so far away from you. I'd help you. I'd drive you, but I no longer have a vehicle that'll make it there. So, but I know Lewisburg has some good meetings. Lewisburg, that's all I know. Lewisburg has the great meetings. I think Milton has some, but they're kind of whenever people want to show up. And there was only one person in the room. I hate those meetings, but yeah, just talk to your doctor. That's that. Be honest with your doctor. That's and also your doctor knows. If you have a doctor, your doctor knows, and there's no lying. But my doctor even said to me, I was wondering when you were going to be honest with me. Is when they say, how many drinks a week do you have? And, you know, you're trembling and you say one, and then your doctor knows you're full of shit. So, but yeah, just, you don't want to die. Alcoholism's the one you could die from. So, yeah, get yourself. There's meetings online too, all online, virtual. You don't even have to go. Download the app Meeting Finder, and there you could watch meetings in China, and they're all over the world in every language. And you go to any meeting around the world. I've been to meetings in Virginia. I've been to meetings in Vermont, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. They're all the same no matter where you go. So online, you could go to one in California. You can go to one anywhere you want. And yeah. So, but yeah, and submitting to God. Like I said, I'm not going to preach in my daily vlogs, my long form vlogs, but I am going to continue to do the AA meetings despite how many subscribers I lose. Because if I could reach one person, that's worth losing all my subscribers. All right. So, don't subscribe. Don't unsubscribe. I need your monetization. But no, I love each and every one of you. And as I was talking to my bubula, she said, my the girl I'm in a relationship with, I don't know, what's going on right now, but she said that a lot of people probably only subscribed for the AT, and she's very wise. She's a very wise woman, and very godly, and I was bummed out by the people unsubscribing, and I was thinking it was for the AA videos, and praying, but she said a lot of people are just probably unsubscribing because they only followed for the AT, and I get it. So, I don't know. You're not going to win everybody, but that's okay. Like I said, if I could save a few lives, just let some people know that they're not alone out there in their struggles. Because you're not alone. Life is hard. Life is hard. And I want to say it comes with an instruction manual. You read the Bible, but that only goes. Life is hard, and you don't have to suffer alone. There's other people suffering. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Um, yeah. So just reach out to your fellow humans. We've become so disconnected from each other through social media that we forget that we can connect with people. There's clubs, there's church, there's AA meetings. There's just there's so many outlets. You're not alone. Just don't be alone. It's like God. I don't go to church for God. I go to church because it connects me to other people who believe in God. God's not in the church. God's in your heart. And actually, God even said himself he's not in the church. But I go to church because it connects me with other people who have common interests. Same with AA. I go to AA to connect with people that understand the struggle. All our stories are different, but they're all the same. So, but yeah. Um, Let me see. Let me go back a little bit. All right. Hot sloth. Bear. Sorry, drink a lot of coffee. I'm a little twitchy. Bears can smell food on your mouth from a meal 3 days ago. Hanging is just for us to feel good. I agree. And I met a real Indian man, Cherokee to be exact. And I say Indian because he told me that he did not like being called Native American. So he was an Indian, a Cherokee Indian. And he said that if you hang your food, the bear is going to go for that hanging food and then you're going to lose your food. But if you're sleeping with your food, that bear is never going to touch it. Not on this side of the country. Now, grizzlies are a whole different story. We're not talking grizzlies. We're talking East Coast brown bear, or what, black bear, whatever the hell bears on the East Coast. I'm not Steve Irwin here, but he told me that bear is always going to go for the hanging food. And he said, just sleep with it, and I snore. So, so yeah, that's my security alarm. But people with these like Ursacs and all that, yeah, it's just to feel good. If you're in like the Smokies, like if there's a bear box or bear cables, yeah, I respect the rules and I hang my food in those situations. But if I'm in the middle of nowhere, I'm just sleeping with that shit. I don't care. I'm not even, I'm not even gonna pretend. Let's see. Hey, April, how you doing? How you doing? Joy, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. Some people, you can't win them all. Can't win them all. Dylan, I'll definitely look into that 800 number. I need to find AA meeting for sure. My doctor wanted me to see a specialist for shots to help me quit, but the state took, it's Pennsylvania. Freaking Pennsylvania, man. Um, hmm. You could try the state-sponsored rehabs. They're not a Hilton, but they'll get you through the shots. I never did the shots. I just because I always thought I was gonna drink again, so I didn't want to get the shot. But and I'm going on 3 years, so I guess I'm good. Let me, Dylan, the best of the restoration shop. Dylan, best of luck. It has been a miracle for a friend of mine. So there you go. There you go. There's help right in my own comments here. April, the raccoons will get it in your tent. Probably. That's all right. Whatever. Hey, don't do as I do or what you know what I mean. Don't. There is a loss for deleting. Oh, that's their loss for deleting. I enjoy all your videos. Thank you, John. Thank you. Yeah, hey, it is what it is. Like I said, a lot of people had probably just followed for the AT, and that's okay. That's okay. Because honestly, there's very few people I watch. I don't watch their other content. Like I watch, like IB Tat. I watch all that he does. I barely watch Dixie. But most of the people I've subscribed to and I'm still subscribed to, I really only watch for their AT footage. So I get it. And then in 2020, I did some cooking show things. They're just goofy, and I lost some people from that too. So, people just wanted to see the AT. I get it. They watch this stuff for like tutorials, And there's a couple decent vloggers out there this year. One of them, he's going to be really good if he learns how to turn on his camera's video stabilization. And but his footage is really good. And then there's Wolfie. He's pretty good. Um, then Larry's good with the stuff he posts. But yeah, there was a lot of January 1st starters this year too. I think there was like 16 of them, which is crazy. It was just Truck Driver and I for 2.5 months. Metro was supposedly out there, but it depends on who you ask. I never saw him. But yeah. I don't know, but I couldn't believe how many people are hiking the AT on January 1st this year. Maybe I just inspired, Truck Driver and I inspired a lot of people, I guess. I don't know. The weather really wasn't that bad until like 3 weeks in, anyway. Um, let's see. I can't believe it's been a year. It's been a year since the AT. Isn't that crazy? What a year it's been. Now I'm about to walk across the country. What am I doing? What am I doing to myself? My legs. My legs are as oh, and I'm wearing the AT shirt. Look at that. Actually, my mom got me an AT shirt. My mom and her boyfriend got me an AT shirt for Christmas, and it's a Sobo shirt. It says Maine to Georgia. Like, didn't you guys watch my YouTube? But it's funny. It's the thought that counts. Um, let's see. Um, Dale Hart. Dale's an OG here. Hey, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We're about to walk across the damn country. Crazy. Oh, Stella, I am you. Prove me wrong. Thanks for all your content, Sam. You and Stella are the only ones I ended up following this year. Other than Captain Jack, y'all keep doing you. I like the idea of the cross country flip flop idea. Captain Jack, I only watched a few of his videos, but he was really good. He was really dedicated. In Virginia, he dropped his phone in a creek, and he kept walking. And he was actually going to go redo like 4 days of content just so he didn't lose it. But then he ended up going in the creek and getting the phone, and then he got this rash. And yeah, I don't know, but his content was really good. And Stella, I love Stella. I'm a little butthurt she didn't put my interview in her video, and I put hers in mine. But that's little bygones be bygones there, Stella. But no, her content is really good and entertaining, and she's a badass. She's fast. She's a fast hiker. And she's always a joy to be around. Yeah, she was one of the best through hikers I met out there. She was just a great person. And let's see. Dylan, are you going to start your walk from the same exact spot you stopped on? I am not. I'm going to start in Venice Beach, California. Venice Beach, LA. That was the end goal. And then I'm going to walk to Casey, Illinois. And then from Casey, Illinois, if I feel like walking to New Jersey, I will. But the end goal is Casey, Illinois, where I left off. I left off at a church in Casey, Illinois. The Restoration something, I think. I can't remember the name of it, but that's where I left off. I was going to start there, but I don't think I'm not afraid to walk through the cold in Kansas or Missouri or any of the other states. The problem is I'm afraid if it snows and all the snow plows push the snow onto the shoulder of the road, I'll have nowhere to walk. So then I'll be walking all of Kansas with nowhere to go. So I could walk through the cold, no big deal. I could walk through snow, rain, hail, no big deal. It doesn't bother me at all. I prefer the cold and everything opposed to the heat, but yeah, it's the snow. The rules change on the road. If I was in the woods, I could just walk through the snow, but on the side of the road, it would be all slushy and cars flying by me. Yeah, the rules change. I got to factor in cars, and I always have to be alert for distracted drivers running my ass over. So I always need a place to jump off the road if I have to. And I'll put a flagpole on this and everything, and I'll have a yellow vest and a hat, but that only does so much. It's these like Teslas or people texting and driving, and yeah, those are the ones I always got to be alert for. And you know, I walk against traffic. I take all the precautions, but yeah, if it snows and I have nowhere to go, then yeah, I don't know what I would do. So figured walking in California, I'm pretty slow. So by the time I got to Kansas, it should be warmer. I'm hoping anyway. But let's see. Dwayne, I don't believe Metro is out on the trail yet. I know he was out there, but I don't think he started January 1st because I never saw him. Actually, I never saw Truck Driver was the only other January 1st person I saw. I know a lot of people like Wolfie said he saw me, but I don't remember Wolfie. Um, and Metro was out there. I know he was out there. I know he through hiked the entire trail, but I never met him. Never met him. Never saw him. So I don't know. Do with that information what you will. Um, Following a little bit in Peter Jenkins' footsteps, I read his book as a teenager. Yeah, the guy who so walking across the country was a weird thing. It was many years ago. It was like me, my buddy Mike, Jeff Carlin. There was a couple of us, and we were doing a safety meeting. And we were in the room and it had a black light because every teenage boy has a black light in his room. But there was like a map of the US and I was just honed in on it. And I'm like stoned and I'm staring at this map. And I was like, one day I'm going to walk across that. And it was funny because on my last walk, Jeff Carlin, he messages me and he goes, "Man, I remember you saying that when we were teenagers." And so, yeah, I don't know. And then I tried in 2021 during COVID because I was all butthurt from my AT hike getting ruined. And yeah, I made it to Casey, Illinois, and the heat took me out. The heat is my kryptonite. It was like 105 degrees for a week straight. And I took a couple hotel zeros, let it break, and then I left the hotel because on the fourth day we saw bed bugs, and I left that hotel all pissed off. And then the heat came back, and um, yeah, the heat's my kryptonite. Basically, the heat is I cannot. I'm not a. I'm from the beach. I don't do the heat. You know, we go to the beach in the summer. You know, I don't hike in the heat, and that was it. And I quit Casey, Illinois. Yeah, but yeah, Captain Jack was a badass. The yo-yo. I really wish I did the yo-yo. But then I saw My Struggle Bus Life on Mount Greylock and it looked like Mount Washington. And I said, damn, I am so happy I did not do that yo-yo. Because I just like I said, I can do the cold, but I just on the AT, I just wasn't mentally ready for walking through 6 inches of snow again and stuff like that. So um let's see. Stella. All right. Lori Meadows, what type of route are you taking? Back roads? I can't imagine the interstate. So, it is illegal to walk on interstates. I had to do 20 miles of interstate through West Virginia, and that was one of the craziest parts of my trip because I had to keep leapfrogging because the state trooper was trying to get me, and I had to keep like jumping across the road when he came, and then I would jump back across the road, and he was getting real pissed off. And so he had someone pulled over, and I was walking, and he goes, "You can't be on the interstate. I have to give you a ride to the exit." And I'm like, "Dude, I have 8 miles to go. Just let me go." I said, "I can't get in your car. If I get in your car and get a ride to the exit, then it's not a cross country walk. It's a cross country drive 8 miles." You know, and I'm a purist. I have to do every single step. Like if I get dropped off, I cross the road and redo the 10 steps. You know, I am a purist. When I say I did every single step of the AT, well, I missed a couple miles from the hurricane damage, but I did every single possible step. I remember like Poet from Shaw's dropped me off on the other side of the parking lot. Best believe I walked all the way back just to get those steps in. So that's just how I am. I'm as pure as possible. So this state trooper, I told him, I said, I only have a few miles to go, whatever. And I kept leapfrogging him. And I got to the bridge into Steubenville, Ohio. And this state trooper was coming. And the sidewalks on the bridge were closed. And it was just a 2-lane metal bridge. And I said, "Taylor, hang on." And we freaking booked it across this bridge, doing like leapfrog in the traffic, and Taylor's all bouncing around in the cart. And I could tell that cop was furious because I got in Ohio. There was nothing he could do. And yeah, he wanted me. He wanted me. But yeah, so now on this trip, I don't have to worry about the police because I don't have Taylor. I was always afraid that they would take Taylor, so I always submitted like a good boy. But I'm not afraid of cops. I'm the worst person to pull over because I know my rights and I fight back. And so, but yeah, that cop. But interstates, yeah, you can't do on interstates. It's against. See, I have ADHD. Interstates can't do interstates against the law. So what I do is Google Maps. Um, I do the walking part of Google Maps. So I take my start location, which will be Venice Beach, and then I Google Maps Casey, Illinois, and then wherever it tells me to go. And it's pretty good with sidewalks and shoulders. It only got me on like one or two really, really sketchy roads. You guys can go back and watch my 2021 cross country attempt. Now, let me tell you, before you watch, there's a lot of drinking, a lot of cigarette smoking, a lot of safety material usage, and a lot of cursing. And I talk about a lot of really controversial stuff. So the Sam I was back then is not the Sam that sits before you today. I wasn't close to God yet. I was a real piece of shit. I was a good person, but I was a piece of shit. And so you can go watch those videos, but I don't want you judging me based on those videos. I want you to judge me based on the man that sits before you today. Um, so yeah, there was a couple videos where I drank while I walked. Just living. I was just living. Um, but yeah, those videos are and they're rough. They're long. I didn't know how to film. I didn't know how to edit. So half the videos I edited them when I was drunk. So yeah, that's just be forewarned. It's not they're not my proudest moments, but it's part of me, part of my story, so I keep it up on YouTube. Um, but yeah, I just Google walk. There's one video in there where I call it was like parking lot leapfrog. It was like a super busy highway with no shoulder or no sidewalk. So I had to look for clearings in the cars coming, and Taylor and I would run parking lot to parking lot, like cross the street to that parking lot, then to that parking lot. And we made it like 2 miles doing that. It was a long day. It took me like 5 hours to do those 2 miles, and it was crazy. But Google Walk is pretty good. There's a couple like sketchy, windy roads in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, but they were just old country roads, and they got beeped at and cursed at a lot. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I so basically like Pennsylvania all the way to Illinois. I was on Route 30 or Route 40, which are like popular cross country walking routes. I know in Missouri I'll be on the Katy Trail, which is like 250 something miles of bike trail. Um, Kansas, I'll probably be on Route 50 or Route 66 most of the time. I'm going to try to stay away from Route 50 because it's the loneliest highway, and I just don't want to be I'd like to see a Dollar General every 20 miles, So yeah. And then the desert, Navajo Nation, all that. I don't know. We'll just wing it. Whatever. YOLO. I walk with God. Um so yeah, Google Maps. Google Maps is my far out for this. Did you see Chris Caruso skate across? I did see Chris Caruso skate across America. He's crazy. There's also a girl doing it. I followed a guy called Bear Son. Excuse me. He walked across the country in a bear costume. Crazy. He had like 50 people following him, and yeah, just walking like one of those big like Disney bear costumes. Insane, insane. This guy. And then who else? There was the two girls going across the country in those little kid cars, those little battery operated like Barbie cars. Um, I don't know what they I don't know, gimmicky. Um, who else? there's always people walking across the country at any given time. There's a lot of people doing it. A lot of people bike riding, a lot of people running. They just don't put it on the internet like I do. There was a guy walking across the country with a big Jesus cross. There's the monks walking right now. Part of the reason I was gonna wait till February was because I was gonna try to ride on a little bit of their thunder. Um, but they're gonna finish February 13th in Washington D.C. The monks. They've kind of tapered off. They got real popular for a little bit, but they've kind of tapered off. There's a pastor from Georgia currently walking. Um, Silverback, who was on the AT, he walked in 2015 for PTSD. He walked as a black man too, because I was wondering, because I got harassed by police, and I heard he got it way, way worse, in especially the redneck states, the redneck little country towns, and yeah. Um, who else? There was a Muslim woman who walked across the country a few years ago in a full hijab, and she was just walking to her sick sister because, for whatever reason, her religion wouldn't let her in a vehicle, and she had to get to her sister, so she was walking, and she brought a lot of media attention, and she didn't even want it, the poor lady. It was just so unique what she was, just her appearance was unique, and she just made a lot of people suspicious. Um, Racism. But who else is walking across? Oh, there was two brothers that walked the year I did. They were, I can't remember their names. They went from Asbury Park. There was a guy, the guy who inspired me, his name was Kane. He did it in like 2018. He walked from Sandy Hook, New Jersey to Washington, I think. Um, he kind of fell off. He deleted all his social media, so I always wondered where he went. But there's always people walking. There's a Wikipedia page of people that have walked. There's Peace Pilgrim. She walked like 30 or 40 times. She was protesting nuclear weapons. Yeah, there's all different causes, and less people have walked across the United States than have summited Everest. More people summit Everest in 1 year than people that have walked across the United States. So that's pretty cool too, I think. Um, so uh, LA to Virginia Beach. That's where he skated. Wow, that's on a skateboard. It's insane. Insane. Some UK guy is walking around the world right now. He's 10 years into his journey. And I've actually seen him too. I'm bad with names, but yeah, walking around the world. I believe that's 26,000 miles, give or take a few miles. So that's a big one, especially like some of the countries you got to go through. Like, I believe he went through Kazakhstan, which is actually a really popular country for bike riding for some reason. Um, but yeah, no, God, what was his name? I can't remember. And the money, where the hell does he get the money? I have the pennies from monetization and donations and stuff. Where do you get the money to walk for 10 years? That's, um, laughing in a cop's face because they're bullshitting you pisses them off so bad. Oh, I am the worst person to pull over because I know my rights and I know the Constitution. You got to know your rights. Always know your rights. Is Most cops, I don't want to talk bad about cops on here, but um, uh, you prove me wrong. What you said kind of makes me want to watch it. Yeah, go watch it. I mean, it's up, but just actually go watch it. It's a good reminder of how far I've come, not only in filming and vlogging, but just as a human being. Uh, I was a very broken soul. Just COVID bummed me out. I left a six-figure job to hike the AT in 2020, and out of all the things that could have ended that hike, a global pandemic. Go figure. Yeah, go figure. But if COVID was the best thing to ever happen to me, I slowed down. I realized there's more to life than working, and yeah, COVID in hindsight wasn't a bad thing in my life. And I didn't get COVID till 4 years in. I didn't lose anybody I loved, and so I made out okay during the whole thing. I'm not gonna lie about that. Um, but I did get a really bad drinking problem out of COVID. And so I guess some bad stuff came out of it. But I am who I am today because of all these experiences. So, I don't know. Dylan, I have my issues, but I'm glad I'm not the person I used to be. When you knew me at Rick's, I was coming to work on mushrooms or something. I remember that, Dylan. I remember that, Dylan. I don't know how the hell you would you'd work while tripping on mushrooms, but God bless you, man. And let me tell you, that was when Dylan met me actually working at Rick's, which is no longer there. That was like my peak alcoholism too. And so Dylan also met me at a really bad time. We met each other at really bad times in our lives. Yeah. And then your next comment, I believe the artist Mike Posner tried to, but had issues. He just finished the CDT. Mike Posner, yeah, the singer, he took a pill in Ibiza. I can't remember any other of his songs, but he walked across the country and 2018 or 19, he got bit by a rattlesnake in the desert and almost lost his foot, and lot of stuff happened to him on his walk. He started with a full support team and then sent the whole support team home, and yeah, it brought him closer to God, and now he's just through hiking, and he met his wife on one of the hikes, and yeah, through hiking has really saved Mike Posner's life because he was really famous, and he was addicted to the fame, and he had a whisper, and he says it was God whispered to him that if he kept with the fame, being addicted to the fame, that he was going to die like his peers. Like around the same time Amy Winehouse died, Avicii died, and so Mike Posner just decided to walk across the country, and that's it. The rest is history. Now he's a thru hiker. And are you I am. Prove me wrong. Are you going to pull a card again? Who is Taylor, your pet? Have you considered raising money for a charity? Great questions. So we'll go over that again. All right. So this is Taylor. She was my dog. There's a little whisker in there. I dumped most of her ashes in New Jersey. I only kept a little bit. Taylor is in a Chinese food container because she liked Chinese food. And so I thought it was fitting. I'm going to take a little bit of her with me, but I had the cart for Taylor in 2021. So in 2021, Taylor would ride mostly in the cart because the ground was too hot. So Taylor really only walked about 200 miles. And that was one thing that annoyed the hell out of me. I took this really great picture. She had a retractable leash, and it was her and I walking down the middle of the road. Such a badass picture. And this newspaper, it gets a lot of media attention. I was in USA Today, New York Times. I was on the news. I was on a lot of crazy the Christian Science Monitor. I was in the Asbury Park Press, on radio stations. There was a lot of media attention in 2021. That was also really stressful. I wasn't ready for that. I was just walking, and all these news and stuff started writing about me. Like USA Today blew my shit up. Like Fox 59 in Indiana, they never even interviewed me, but I had people trying to find me on the street to take pictures and whatnot. But anyway, this one really badass picture of Taylor and I. She was on a retractable leash, so it was tight. And people started accusing me of making her pull the cart. And I'm like, you dumb motherfuckers. The leash is retractable. It is always tight. And it looked like she was pulling the cart, and all these people started attacking me. And Taylor barely even walked, let alone pull the cart. Taylor was a fat, lazy pit bull. Like she wasn't pulling no damn carts. Actually, that's a lie. There was one hill in Pittsburgh I made her get out and help me get up the hill, as it was like, but okay. So Taylor helped me pull one time. All right, but anyway, the cart was her domain. It had her toys, her bed, had 4 rechargeable fans in it, and she could poke her head out the top. It's actually still all full of her dog hair and stuff. I gotta clean it, but I will be pushing this cart again, just because it's sturdy. Cost me like $600, and I don't have to worry about weight when I push the cart, so it's just a lot easier. And but yeah, Taylor died in That was part of the reason I hiked from the AT to heal from her death, because her and I lived alone for like 10 years and her death really killed me. But she died of natural causes. She was like 13 or something. And yeah, I had her from 2 weeks old to the day she died. She was born on January 27th of uh, 2010, I think. And yeah, she died a couple years ago, and yeah, so she came with me the first time, and but anyway, charity question: am I working doing this for a charity? The GoFundMe is going to drop on Wednesday. I'm raising money for the homeless in Ocean County, New Jersey. I'm raising money for an organization called Just Believe Inc. Their website is justbelieveinc.org. You can find them on Facebook at Just Believe Inc. Part of the money I raised in 2021 went to their homeless veteran shelter called Larry's Home, which they just got approved for their last permit necessary, and they are going to start taking applicants for their homeless veteran shelter soon. It was a long process for them. The town really put them through the ringer. So it's Just Believe Inc. It's run by Paul Hulse. I'm going to be talking to him on Tuesday. We're going to be making a PowerPoint presentation, which is going to drop hopefully on Friday. And I only have 8 days till I leave, so this is all going to happen really fast. But if it doesn't happen fast, I'll never do it. So I work best under pressure. Some of my best work happens under pressure. The AT I planned for like a month. My last cross country walk I planned for like a week. So the AT in 2020, 3 weeks. Yeah, so I do my best work under pressure. So even my best essays and reports come last minute. But yeah, Just Believe Inc. And I raised 14 grand for them in 2021, I think. And then the publicity I brought them was priceless. I brought them so much publicity. The publicity is where the money's at. Um, so the GoFundMe, the money that gets donated to the GoFundMe goes directly to Just Believe Inc. I don't touch or see any of that money. I'm just the face of the GoFundMe. So when you make a donation to it, it goes directly to Just Believe Inc.'s bank account. And then my Venmo, Cash App, and all that. Those links will be in my description and bio. That money obviously goes to me, but I'd prefer the money go to Just Believe Inc. always. And but the publicity is what I'm after. The donations are great, but the publicity is just yeah priceless. And so I'm really gonna be trying to get my face on the news and media again this time. If you Google Sam Green Highlands, New Jersey, you could probably find all my newspapers and radios and all that from 2021. And also, this is going to kind of be a little bit of a protest against Daniel Roderick, the mayor of Toms River. He's not going to be the full focus, but I am going to talk shit every opportunity I get. He's outlawed homelessness. He's made it a $2,000 fine if you're caught feeding or helping the homeless in Toms River. And keep in mind, Ocean County, New Jersey is the only county without a homeless shelter in the state. No homeless resources, and they have one of the highest homeless populations in the state. And so Daniel Roderick is one of the not in my backyard people, and the guy calls himself a Christian. You know, Jesus didn't say anything bad about the homeless people. You know, and so he certainly wouldn't have outlawed homelessness, and that's what Daniel Roderick's trying to do. He's trying to make it a crime to be homeless, and a lot of people aren't homeless because, you know, a lot of people think you're homeless because you're a drug addict, alcoholic, junkie, crazy, which is, yeah, sure, absolutely. You know, that is the case for a lot of them, but there's also a lot of homeless people that are just down on their luck. Everyone's only a few paychecks away from being homeless, and you'd be surprised by how many homeless senior citizens there are. And it's just because they didn't plan well. And you could say, why not just move? Well, when your whole life is in one place, it's really hard to move. And if you have no money, it's really hard to move. And then you say, why don't you just get a job? It's really hard to get a job without an address, papers. It's really hard to do anything without an address, and can't get an ID without an address. So once your ID expires, then you're shit out of luck. And yeah, so a lot of homeless people are just down on their luck. And then homelessness becomes an addiction. It becomes a cycle. It's like the AT after a through hike. I spent 300 days outside last year. It was really, really hard to adapt to sleeping inside after the AT, and I still struggle with it. Now I'm just going to go back to the outside. It's like the circle of homelessness. And a lot of homeless people, after a while, they just prefer to be outside. And I don't know. So, but Just Believe Inc. They look for permanent solutions. They a lot of people in Tom's River, they're helping homeless, but they want to keep them homeless because money comes. It's the homeless industrial complex, I like to call it. Like California, for example, they get billions of dollars, billions with a B, to help the homeless. But there's still people all over Skid Row, and they don't want to make permanent solutions. They want to keep the homeless on the street because as long as there's homeless, there's customers. And if there's homeless people out there, they keep getting all that money, that sweet government money. It's the homeless industrial complex. And but Just Believe Inc. They make permanent solutions. They're trying to help these people and get them off the streets permanently. They're trying to get them the mental health they need, the they take abused. You'd be amazed by how many battered women are on the streets with their kids, and there's just not enough resources to help them. And Just Believe Inc. is they do permanent solutions. That's why I chose Just Believe Inc. They're not trying to bring a homeless camp in the woods blankets, which they do, but that's not their focus. Their focus is to help the homeless people with their mental problems, their addictions, and get them into permanent housing and make them productive members of society. That's why I chose Just Believe Inc. Their mission is on their website, justbelieveinc.org, and there'll be more about that in the presentation that I'm shooting for Friday. So, yeah. Anyway, last year there were two young guys who walked across the country and raised a crap load of money for charity. They got so much support from strangers. Trail magic. There is road magic too. Oh man, I had people trying to feed me. I had people handing me money. I was in Pittsburgh and all these I don't remember their religion. It was like Hindu or Sikh or something. It was the Middle East. Sikh, I think. They were just handing me money because I was on a pilgrimage, and I walked off with like $1,000, and I was like, I don't need money, I'm not homeless. And they're like, no, pilgrimage. Give me honey and stuff. And then I had like people feeding me, people offering me their homes, and there is road magic. The road provides too. It's pretty crazy. Actually, the two people that gave me the most trouble in 2021 were police and pastors. And then every time I stopped on a church property, the cops would come and get me. Every single time. That just always annoyed the hell out of me. And police just always. But if you watch anyone, Joe Bell, anyone that walks across the country, the cops just love to mess with you. Carl, I am proving me wrong. Carl Bushby, he's actually 27 years in his 27 years. Sponsors. Yeah. Okay. So if you're walking for 27 years, you probably get sponsors. In 2021, I got sponsored by Brooks. But their shoe was so bad that I couldn't accept the sponsorship. Actually, I think a big part of the reason my walk ended was because my feet were in so much pain from Brooks running shoes. I don't know, but maybe this year will be different. Who knows? I'm walking with God on this one. I don't even have a plan. I'm just getting LA and I'm gonna walk. There's no planning. There's no point in planning. The plans constantly change. So yeah. Sparky one. There's a guy called Max bike riding around the country and switched to hiking now because he wanted to see more on foot. That reminds me, we're going a little long here. I'm going to end this soon, but there's an old parable. I think I tried to tell it on the AT. There was a guy who would drive to work every day, and he would just fly by. He'd fly by the bushes. He'd fly by the flowers. He'd fly by the street signs. He didn't see anything. And one day he got a flat tire. So he calls his boss and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to be a little bit late. I got to ride my bike to work." And the boss said, "All right, no big deal. Take your time." So the guy's riding, and all the stuff that he would normally fly by, the flowers, the bushes, he got to see him a little bit as he went by. He's like, "Oh, look at that pretty flower. Look at that spider web. Oh, look at that sign. I never saw that tree before." Whatever, he gets to work. Anyway, goes home. Next day, bike has a flat tire. So now he has no car, no bike. So he has to walk. And he calls his boss and he goes, "Hey, I have to walk to work today. I have no car, no bike now. So I'm going to take a little bit longer than I did yesterday." And the boss goes, "No problem. Take your time." So as the guy's walking to work, he stops. He sees the ants making an ant hill. He sees the flowers. He's just walking along 2 miles per hour, and he sees like the flowers. He sees the bumblebee stopping on the flower. He sees the street signs, that willow tree blowing in the air, and he stops and he sees a spider web, and he sees all the geometric shapes of the spider web, and the spiders just like putting all its life into it. And then he sees a fly flying along, and it goes right into the spider web, and the spider gets to fly. And that's the moral of life, man. Slow down. Don't be the fly going into the web. I think I told that story really bad, but you get the idea. Slow down. Slow down. Walk. Smell the flowers. Look at the ants. That's why I chose walking. I could ride a bike across the country and I could get to LA in 35 days on a bike, but walking, going 2 miles per hour, I got to see a lot of stuff. I got to see a lot of stuff walking. Yeah. Um, Dylan, I'm not sure how I manage working while doing that shit either. That building doesn't have anything in it now. I always thought it was a bad place for a restaurant. It's a horrible location for a restaurant. Um, I am you, prove me wrong. Weird all the media attention in 2021. You think it was mostly because of Taylor? The media attention just came out of curiosity. Well, it also came out of a lot of small towns, like Fox 59 in Indiana. I was probably the biggest news in the area. Um, and I don't know what they said about me. I think it had something to do with so many people calling the cops on me, because Indiana is where I got harassed by the police the most. And I think so many people were calling the cops on me. They put me on the news to just say, "Hey, this guy is walking, leave him alone." Um, as far as the Christian Science Monitor, he was doing an article about people walking across the country that year. And 3 hour interview, paid for me to stay in Pittsburgh, and I was like one sentence in the whole article. I was like, all right, whatever. But USA Today, that one, they wrote an article about me using other people's articles. Asbury Park Press, I was from the area. My college, I was from the area. So yeah, Taylor, I don't know. I think she just she brought a lot of the people driving. She definitely got me a lot of attention on the road. Like a lot of people would stop to pet her and stuff. And um yeah, the media, I don't know. I think it was just guy walking across the. I really don't know. I don't know. It's the same thing happened in Forrest Gump. They're like, "What are you running for?" He's like, "I'm just running." I don't know. Sparky One, what a jerk to treat homeless people like that and fine people for helping them. I know. Uh, uh, yeah, Daniel Roderick. He's a real piece of shit. You can Google him. He's very very controversial, and I don't know how he keeps getting elected. And I know he's probably sitting on the country club, and his buddies are saying, "Hey, we need these woods cleared for our new condo development." And Daniel Roderick, someone's got to be lining his pockets. That's all I could think of. I don't know. I don't know. Why pastors? I don't know. That's a great question. Why pastors? They should have been helping. Should have at least said, "Hey, you could sit on my tax-free property for a couple minutes and cool off." But I don't know. Sparky One, oh, it's messed up. Oops, Max is riding around the world. I remember you saying this on the AT. Man, the riding around the world. Don't get my gears turning. I don't have I don't have that in me. Uh, uh, that's why I loved watching your videos. You stop to smell the roses. You got to stop and smell the roses.
And a lot of these things I'll never see again. And I remember a lady looking for wildflowers somewhere in Virginia, and she said, "You're seeing flowers that by accident, I was seeing flowers that she has been looking at for her whole life. Like there were some like orchids and stuff that I'm just walking by casually, and she had been looking for them her whole life. And I just, that's why you got to just appreciate it. You got to appreciate the small stuff, um, like Dwayne, slow down, brother. F yeah, love it. Good luck, Sam. Thank you. Yeah, take it slow. These hikers that are doing 30 miles a day, I envy their ability to do that, but they're not seeing half of what I saw. I'll never forget that guy, that Triple Crowner Slide, I think his name was. He didn't even stop to look at Max Patch, and I thought, oof, hike your own hike, of course, but you gotta stop and look at a view, man. I don't know, but Debbie, so glad I came across your video when you hiked through my hometown in Virginia. I'm sorry you had a shitty experience at our Chinese restaurant. No, Debbie, that Chinese buffet, and was that Waynesboro we're talking about? um no, my fat ass just ate too much food. That's all it was. The Chinese buffet slapped hard. The Chinese buffet in Waynesboro, whew, but don't ever start the what's that park in Virginia, Shenandoah or whatever? Don't ever start hiking after eating Chinese, like at a Chinese buffet. Oh, Marion. Oh yeah, yeah, that wasn't great Chinese food. No, no, sorry. Yeah, Marion had bad Chinese food. But I wasn't trying to wait 45 minutes for a burger at that one restaurant though. But yeah, Marion was yeah, it was bad Chinese food. Um, I don't know. All right, recap. Oh well, if anyone has any other questions, real quick, drop them. But I'm just gonna do a quick recap. Uh, Wednesday, I will be posting the GoFundMe. Friday, I'll be doing the PowerPoint. And then that's it. I'm going to be heading to LA on the 19th. And yeah, that's all I can really think of, folks. I'll see you in a few days. Just keep an eye out for some stuff on the socials, Wander with Sam. And then justbelieveinc.org is the charity. And that's all I can really think of. I'll wrap it up now. And you all have a wonderful night. And I'll see you next time, you sexy. Well, first off, you're all great. Tay was great. You're all great. God is great. And I'll see you next time, you sexy, sexy people. All right. Bye.